Hey guys, Ryan here, Halogen for Squadron Reviews, and I am joined by
Gamertags44, also known as Jordan.
to bring you the Star Wars special of our podcast. Now, it's taken a while to get this one up because we've actually went through two failed attempts. The first one was one I recorded a little while ago, and then the second one was why we'll never use iMovie again, because we had no resources with us. But today we'll be talking about a lot of things Star Wars, our thoughts on certain Star Wars things, just like having a Star Wars episode, because it seems that I've looked at the podcasts, and you guys want more Star Wars. I will click on the ones like, I have to use the word Star Wars so much. I've clicked on like the ones where it says Star Wars something, and we get more comments on those. So, like our most viewed video is our Star Wars Force Awakens review.
Yeah, I think so.
Which was 100 something views. Not a lot for now. Not a lot of views compared to like Canada Coaster fans or some of our old channels stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that. But today we'll just be discussing a variety of things relating to Star Wars. So we'll go through some of the new Star Wars movies that are coming out. So it's going to be a good time. Star Wars seems to have a bright future ahead with Disney owning them, although I'm not the biggest fan of that. Are you?
It seems like they're doing a pretty good job so far, but we're gonna have to see how it works out.
But you know the Marvel syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably gonna milk it. They're gonna be like, we need 10 more Han Solo movies. Imagine that, the Han Solo trilogy.
No, I don't even want the one itself.
But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Without further ado, let's begin by talking about Rogue One. Now, what are your thoughts on Rogue One, what we've seen so far, everything to do with it?
Well, honestly, I think it's a pretty cool idea. I don't want them to make like a ton of spin-offs to the Star Wars movies and everything. I think this one's gonna be pretty good, though.
Yeah, so
I am hoping that Darth Vader is in it, because so far it's just rumors, though, isn't it?
yeah, there's not really much talk about it.
Because I want them to. I think it'd be cool to have him in Rogue One. I don't want them to like make him. I don't know, like return in Star Wars somehow.
He is Snoke, remember?
Oh yeah, okay.
No, but it's gonna be interesting. Is it gonna be Hayden Christensen playing him?
I don't know. I heard that. I'm not sure if it's true. I don't know.
Let me look up 1 second. Is James Earl Jones still alive?
Yes.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he is still alive. Sorry,
Oh.
but he's 85.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he'd take this role, but yeah, I don't like Hayden Christensen at all. I would be really sad to have.
He doesn't like sand much either.
Oh yeah, what's the point of that line?
Attack of the Clones.
I feel like you just watched Attack of the Clones again. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Good.
Watched The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah.
You watched it again? Dun dun dun.
No.
Terrible.
That was junk.
Terrible
Nice,
movie.
right?
You know, I could trade some. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't want The Phantom Menace on Blu-ray. You should do some Blu-ray trading with that, though. Maybe find somebody online. You can, like, you want The Phantom Menace? And like, sure is. That's the best Star Wars movie. It's the original. And then you can get, like, something good, like.
The original.
I can't believe how many people say that. I really can't. But no, Rogue One looks awesome. Like, every time I hear Rogue One, it just gives me chills, man.
Yeah.
Gives me the chills. I'm just so excited for it. It's one of those movies that.
For the spin-offs.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some things to say about spin-offs later, but this just looks great. I mean, the Star Wars story, Rogue One, and it's gonna be the first Star Wars movie that doesn't really star any Jedi.
Yeah.
So it's just like showing another side to the Rebels. We always have viewed it through a Jedi's perspective throughout all 7 Star Wars movies that are out right now. But now it's time to see it from a more non-Jedi, non-Force perspective, which is going to be interesting. It's like the Star Wars movie without the Force. And it'll probably give us more of like the galactic politics stuff. But if they do it well, they'll do it well. Like, they can make it interesting. I will say that while it was boring and felt out of place, some of the stuff in the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones kind of was interesting. Like, it did show that the galaxy was kind of like Earth. There was a lot of complicated issues, but they just handled it so poorly. So it's interesting to see the more human side, that we're not viewing it from a Jedi's perspective, somebody who has the Force.
Yeah.
Somebody who has a high midichlorian count. I'm actually wondering, that's something she's having to bring up. Do you think Disney will go for that? Do you think they'll use the midichlorians thing? They're kind of disowning the prequels. They've like avoided them. The new Star Wars games that are coming out are avoiding the prequels. They have hardly ever mentioned it. Only light references, if any, really. They really have tried to stay away from the prequels. So do you think they'll...
No, I don't think they're going to have anything to do with the prequels, basically. I don't think they're even going to really... So far, I'm pretty sure in 7, there hasn't been really, like, any references.
Yeah, like they... The whole thing is basically a reference to Star Wars. Like, I'm not talking the series, I'm talking A New Hope, which is a terrible name. But, yeah, it's really a bunch of references to the original trilogy and none to the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering what they're going to do with that. Now, something I did hear, was they're going to make it more violent than any of the other Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be like those black stormtroopers. What are they called?
Shadow Troopers?
Yeah, Shadow Troopers, that's it. They're going to have those, which is going to be awesome. They're also... What did they say they were going to... They're also going to have AT-ATs.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be awesome.
That would be cool, yeah.
I think these are just rumors, but that would be great. Like, we can have... Oh my gosh, a very long movie, The Battle of Hoth. Imagine that, like, just a whole movie dedicated to it.
That would be cool.
Because, I mean, The Battle of Hoth was freaking awesome. But no, this is going to be interesting. I wonder if this will be really good. Like, I wonder how good they can make this. It's just me thinking. They could make this really good. Like, it's not like a Star Wars movie, but it's something that takes place in the Star Wars universe and in the Star Wars lore. And because it's not connected to the series, they don't have to worry about like tonal issues. Like the prequels, they didn't feel like Star Wars movies. This one doesn't have to feel like a Star Wars movie. This could be something totally different in the Star Wars universe, and I really want that to happen. Like, I want something unique. Like, I don't want it to just be, oh, Millennium Falcon appears. I want it to be, you know, totally different thing in the Star Wars universe. And if they're gonna do these anthology spin-off movies, I think that that's what I'd want. Yeah, so Rogue One, it's going to be interesting. Super excited. It's my most anticipated movie of the year. Is it yours?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe even over Batman vs. Superman.
Maybe.
So, anyways, let's move on to the bulk of this video. Star Wars Episode 8. So, it is to be directed by Rian Johnson, the director of Looper. And we talked about this. So, they hired somebody to direct this next movie, and then he's going to write the screenplay for number 9. So, he's directed Looper, which is apparently a fantastic movie. I bought it on Blu-ray when we were shopping for Blu-rays recently. And I'm thinking that I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's awesome. I'm going to probably watch it over the next few days. And, but it's interesting. You talked about how you're nervous because this is like his second movie. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was just thinking, because if he did a very good movie, you know, you'd think that would be pretty good, but at the same time, if it's like his second movie, I don't know, you might want to get someone that's more experienced.
Like, if you talk about, if you talk about very good movies, we had George Lucas. He did Star Wars, he's involved with the Indiana Jones movies, all that stuff. But, looking at other movies George Lucas made, he made a few good movies, but then you look at how many bad ones he's made, the prequels, Howard the Duck, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think because what I've heard about him as Looper is that he's into like realistic science fiction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting if he's a very scientific mind when it comes to this. If he can make something that's realistic and darker and grittier and just unique.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people criticized The Force Awakens for being too similar to Star Wars. Do you think that's true?
Well, I think it is really similar, and it doesn't. Like, there is a lot of things that are different, but that it doesn't really bother me too much as long as they don't do that for all three of them.
Yeah, I want them to stay unique. I think having all these different directors is actually smart because they can change up these movies so much.
Yeah.
One thing is I felt that when I was watching Star Wars last time you and I went a couple days ago, again we saw The Force Awakens. It's my fourth time. It's your.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen it now?
I've seen it 4 times in theaters.
Yeah. So, but what we're trying to get at is that, what was I saying? What was I talking about again?
The directors in Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry. My mind just blanked. No. When I saw it, I was watching, you know that scene with, like, the octopus things?
Oh, yeah?
I forget what they're called. But that scene, it reminded me so much of J.J. Abrams and his other movies, like Star Trek Into Darkness and Cloverfield and Super 8. That part reminded me of them. So I saw a bit of directorial trademark there, and that was what I thought was awesome. I really could see J.J. Abrams was trying there, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you what you want for what things do you want for the next episode? What do you?
Well, I kind of hope that they hop kind of like right into where Rey left off. Like I hope it's kind of like The Empire Strikes Back in the way it's like Luke was training with Yoda. It's like Rey's training with Luke on like how to use the Force a lot better and everything. And I don't know. I'm just wondering how Finn would work out.
Yeah.
He's still alive and everything.
I think he's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a heartbeat.
Yeah. I don't think he'll die.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the main characters.
I'm wondering about Kylo Ren. I heard so many people talking about this. Do you think he'll be able to be redeemed, or do you think he'll be killed and will stay evil?
Well, okay. Before I even saw Star Wars 7, or at least partway throughout it, I was thinking that he was going to end up changing back to the good side, just in the way that he was struggling with the dark side and everything. But after what happened, with Han Solo, I don't really think he's going to be coming back to the light side.
So you think he's basically the only way out for him is death?
Yeah.
Because I read an article actually that mentioned this. I want him to come back. I really wanted him to come back there. That was such an intense moment because I had the whole thing spoiled to me, unfortunately. I heard the spoilers online, and I was screwed about that, but I'm not really somebody who cares too much about spoilers. I go see the movie for myself. But, I still felt that maybe they were wrong. Maybe he would turn back. That scene was so powerful.
Yeah.
So, if you remember, I did a review of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And I did a top 5 things I want to see in the next movie. So number 5, I said I want to see how powerful the First Order was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Like in this one, in the Force Awakens, they were pretty powerful. It was pretty scary thinking about it.
Well, they had the Starkiller base and everything.
Like a lot of people didn't like Starkiller base, and I hated how it was like a third Death Star, and I didn't really care when it was blown up. But that scene where it shot was awesome.
Yeah. Blew up, was it 5 planets?
Yeah, a lot of people disagree with me on that. A lot of people say, oh, they don't care. But no, that speech with General Hux, holy Domhnall Gleeson, I know we don't like Frank, but he did a really good job in that role. Like, incredible. He was one of the best actors of this year. He was in The Revenant too. Fantastic job in that movie. I really felt that was a great scene. Kylo Ren watching it, it was interesting. What was he thinking? Did he feel guilt, like when it zoomed in on his face there?
I don't know.
I'm wondering, or is he just watching it? Is he happy? Is he angry? It's so weird because he's wearing the mask. I was wondering what they were trying to portray there. But yeah, I do want to see how powerful the First Order is. That's something I really.
Well, I'm wondering how about what they're gonna do with the fact that on A New Hope, I know you don't like
Star Wars.
The Death Star was destroyed and everything, and then number 6, Return of the Jedi, they had it just Death Star come back, and since they have Starkiller base on this one, it'd be kind of stupid to bring it back on number 9, because then they'd just be fully repeating
Star Destroyer Fortress.
Yeah, but and so they can't really repeat it, or else that's gonna be kind of stupid. So you're gonna have something really big prepared for the next. What I don't know how they're gonna make number 9 work.
Holy
for that.
crap! Thinking about it, they could go all out. Imagine, what? Wait, okay, this is just an idea. A black hole.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that.
Absorbs planets this time.
Yeah, or Star Destroyer Galaxy, Star Killer Galaxy. Ooh. Okay, it's getting all stupid. All right, at number 4, I wanted more like planets to be added in. Don't you agree?
Like the prequels.
I like the planets, the prequels.
Naboo.
Okay, that's a good point. Naboo.
I didn't mind Coruscant.
Naboo did suck. And then their version of Tatooine did suck.
Yeah.
But I would like some more planets. I wasn't the biggest fan of Jakku.
It seems like it was pretty similar to Tatooine, in my opinion.
I really liked Starkiller Base, the planet itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite Star Wars planets ever. Like, I didn't really care about it being Starkiller Base, but the whole planet, how it had that First Order base on it, and in the snowy woods, it's kind of like Hoth.
Well, they could just go back to Hoth.
It's like a combination of the Hoth and the Death Star, and something we haven't seen before, and that's what I like. That's why it was my favorite planet in the movie, and it's maybe even my favorite Star Wars planet. I can't think of what I like better. Maybe Hoth. Yeah. I like Coruscant enough.
Mm-hmm.
Alderaan is my favorite planet.
What if they went back to the Dagobah system?
Oh, Dagobah, right. That's my favorite planet. There we go. I knew I was forgetting one. So it's between Dagobah, Starkiller Base's planet, and Hoth are my 3 favorite planets. What are yours?
I'm probably close to the same. I love Hoth and Dagobah. I didn't mind Endor. I didn't really like the Ewoks.
Yeah, I liked Endor. I didn't like the Ewoks.
But,
isn't that a
I didn't
moon?
mind Coruscant.
You like Coruscant? Coruscant was awesome.
Yeah.
I like it how it's a giant city planet. That was cool.
Yeah.
Alright, number 3. I wanted the identity of Snoke to be revealed.
That's the thing, because I don't know if I want it to be revealed on 8 or 9. Because
I think they'll have enough reveals for 9. Like, we already have Rey. I think they'll reveal something in 8, because in
she's training. It looks like she's gonna be training with Luke now.
In Empire, they had a reveal. Although, okay, say in the crazy case that Luke is Rey's father.
Yeah.
And there was leaked proof that Luke knows who Rey is.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I did not.
They leaked like a screenplay and it had like clues that said that that Luke knew Rey or something.
Okay.
I think it would be revealed, but I'm not entirely digging the Luke and Rey thing anymore. Only because there's so many family things. Like the whole galaxy is basically one family. Like Darth Vader is Luke's father, and then Luke is the brother of Leia, and then Leia and Han got married, and then they had a kid who was Kylo Ren, and now Luke's gonna have a daughter, Rey. It gets too over the top.
That is true. I prefer that over the whole Obi-Wan being her grandfather thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I do think that, you know, Obi-Wan being her grandfather would be a little weird.
Yeah.
But okay, so my number 2 thing is that I wanted to see a stronger Kylo Ren with more backstory explained.
Okay, well, at the end of Force Awakens, Snoke wanted to train Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he doesn't lose like that easily, like he did on Force Awakens to Rey.
Yeah.
Watch him like cut off Rey's hand or something. Completely copy Empire's.
Rey, I am your cousin. But just think about Rey. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. She is really somebody important. They've revealed already. The Jurassic World guy who's directing number 9. We'll get to that in a bit. He said that her identity is going to be revealed in number 9, and it's going to make sense. Like it's going to look like, oh, we've seen this person before. I forget exactly how I explained it. And then J.J. Abrams said that her isolation is a clue to her identity. So I'm thinking that maybe if that's a clue and she's somebody that we might have heard about before, we should watch them all again and listen to the words isolation.
Yeah.
Alright, but seriously, maybe... But Obi-Wan was isolated.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so and then my number one thing I remember, so I wanted a stronger Kylo Ren. I think he was a great character, but he wasn't a very strong fighter. Like, I didn't like it how he lost to Rey, who seemed to have no training.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, unless it's gonna be like...
That's her first time holding a lightsaber, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what if it's like a memory wipe thing?
I guess, yeah.
Like, she had trained... Maybe that... Okay, as much as I hate those memory wipe things, I think they're stupid. That would make a lot of sense, actually. Well, like, she trained with Luke.
Well, yeah, but it shows in the flashback, her parents or whatever, they left when she was, like, 5.
No, I know, but that could be, like, the little glimpse of her memory.
I guess, yeah.
This picture's Captain Phasma, your favorite Star Wars character of all time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, my number one thing was an Empire Strikes Back training sort of thing between Luke and Rey. That's gonna happen. I don't think I should have put that there. We know something's gonna happen between them two. I like the Empire Strikes Back training with Yoda. I thought that was awesome. Yeah. I'd like to see how Luke would be as a trainer. I think he'd be different, and that's what interests me.
Well, he did train Kylo Ren, all that.
But we never got to see. But we never got to see it.
Yeah.
Maybe what if Luke is like really bad at training Jedi? Like, would that not be interesting? Would that seem stupid, or would that actually be like a good conflict? What do you think? Like,
I think that would be pretty cool.
Where Luke isn't as good of a trainer as he is a Jedi.
Well, Yoda spent so long training Padawans, and Luke, he didn't seem to. Well, Luke, he actually seemed okay at being trained once he actually started working on it.
You could have with
Yoda. Like, he didn't spend too much time with Yoda, and he ended up knowing how to use the Force quite well.
Imagine if, like, Yoda's Force Ghost trained him.
Yeah.
I realize, like, how similar Star Wars really is to, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Have you realized that?
I guess,
like,
in a way.
The Jedi and the Avatar, okay, and the frickin' previous Jedi / previous Avatars become, like, the Force Ghosts.
True, yeah.
Okay, and then not only that, okay, I've heard this before, but the last two episodes of Season 2 of Avatar: Last Airbender are almost the exact same as The Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
Did you notice that? Because, like, he goes to train with the Guru guy, which is like Luke training with Yoda, but then his friends are in danger, so then he goes back to help them, but that turns out to be worse, and he almost dies.
Yeah.
And then the good guys lose at the end, and they're all beat up, and then they fly off. Like, it's basically the same thing.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the Zuko thing can kind of be like the I am your father, because a little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost a little bit like the Force Awakens scene, so, you know. Like with Kylo Ren and Han Solo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, I'm excited for Star Wars 8. What do you think will be better, 8 or 9?
Okay, well, you know, usually the second one of a trilogy is the best.
Yeah, if you look at, like, all the famous movie trilogies of all time, usually the second one is the best. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, people argue it, The Dark Knight, The Godfather, you know, all the famous trilogies, really the second one. There's, like, that comedy Cornetto thing, that trilogy. I've never seen any. Apparently Hot Fuzz, the second one's the best.
Well, okay, I'd say I'm probably more excited. Well, it kind of depends on which one I'm more excited for, because 8 seems like it would be better if you're using that kind of logic.
And Rian Johnson.
Yeah, and
he's a director.
And we've got when we kind of know what kind of is going to be happening in a bit of 8. Like, we've kind of been set up to it.
Yeah.
Like, Rey's with Luke and everything now. But, 9's also the ending. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to know which one I'm more excited for.
Yeah, I think 9's a real chance. Now, they did get the director of Jurassic World. Did you see Jurassic World?
Yeah, I did.
How was it? Like, okay, taking away the bias, taking away the fact that you and I both said Jurassic Park is overrated before. Don't hate us for that. But, can you say, like, your thoughts on that? Was that a good movie? And even if you didn't like it, was it, like, good in a movie?
I think it was a good movie. I don't think it was, like, perfect or, like, extremely good. But I think it was a good movie. Like,
if you look at the 3 directors of the 3 main Star Wars movies, we've got J.J. Abrams. He's one of my favorite directors of all time, maybe. I love his movies. I loved Super 8 is fantastic. I loved both the new Star Trek movies. Cloverfield was great. Awesome movies. Force Awakens was his best movie. It was so good. So good. And I'm probably... Should I redo the review, actually, of it?
You could.
I'm thinking of... Because I've got a different score. I'm thinking of... Or doing, like, extra thoughts. That's what I'll probably do this week. But that's off topic. And then Rian Johnson. He's only done one movie, but some have said that he's, like, one of the best It looks to be that he could be one of the best directors out there. Looper was apparently really good, and he's also directed some episodes of Breaking Bad. I know you're not the biggest fan, but people say it's like one of the best shows of all time, and some say the episodes he directed were the best episodes. So he's got a lot of hope. But then we've got this Colin Trevorrow guy who directed, I forget the first movie was, and then Jurassic World. It's a little bit weaker of a portfolio than the other 2, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's looking to be a little weaker of a director, but I want him to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And I think 9, they have to do well. Like, they have to do that well. I don't think Star Wars has really had a good 3rd installment. Number 6, you liked it.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I didn't like number 6 that much. Like, it used to be my favorite. It used to be my favorite for a fairly long time, until grade 4 when I watched Empire Strikes Back on Spike TV. But then I finally admitted that it was my favorite a few months ago because I was a hipster and I wanted Empire Strikes Back to not be my favorite, but yeah, it's my favorite. But I liked it a lot, but looking at it, it was really boring and kind of anticlimactic. The Ewoks were overpowered.
I don't get how Ewoks took down all those stormtroopers.
There should have been way more time with Luke, Vader, and the Emperor.
Yeah.
Less time with Jabba.
Yeah. Well, Jabba wasn't in... How long was that? I thought I remembered it being like half an hour long.
Yeah, it was about half an hour. And then Revenge of the Sith, probably the best of the prequels. I didn't like it very much. You did. You liked it.
Well, it was... I liked it. It was my favorite one of the prequels.
It's not saying much.
Yeah.
But, all 3 prequels, I hate them, but they still have a place in my DVD collection.
Oh my god.
But it's okay. I heard an echo on there. I'm collecting Blu-rays now, so...
Finally.
No, I'm gonna split my left side DVDs and right side Blu-rays, and then in a few months I will do a complete DVD and Blu-ray collection, along with a Wii U and 3DS collection as well.
Okay.
That's actually a good idea. What we should do. If you guys want that, let us know in the comments. Remember when we used to make those videos where we go through like our collections of games and say if they're good or bad?
Oh, the PlayStation games review.
Well, my first video on my really old channel, which I won't give away, was a DS games reviewed, which is like the original idea for that. And actually, my first video I ever posted on the internet is even older. It was I think it was a DS games reviewed 2. It was Plush Mario reviews his DS games, and I put it onto kidstube.com because my parents wouldn't let me get YouTube. Oh god, that was a long time ago. That was like, what, 7 years ago now? Oh boy. Wow. 7 years ago. Okay.
It's 2.
That's really off topic. But number 9's gonna be, or it has to be awesome. I am confident that number 8 will be the best one.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a prediction that just seems accurate. I feel like number 8 will be nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture.
Yeah.
I really think Rian Johnson seems to be a great director. So much good things are said about him. They can make a really good movie, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
So, I am really excited for number 9. Number 8, it's going to be all awesome, for sure. Something that's funny, when we're talking about directors, it's a little off topic, and we'll get more into this topic in a few minutes, but, okay, so you know Fantastic Four, right?
Just the heroes or the actual movie?
The new Fant Four Stick movie.
Oh my god.
So we had 3 bad Fantastic Four movies before it.
They've already planned the next one.
That were laughably bad. And now, is it like completely new reboot?
No, it's just Fantastic Four 2.
No! Darth Vader confirmed. Okay, the director of the most recent Fantastic Four was set to direct one of the Star Wars spin-off anthology movies.
No.
He is now not set to direct it. As soon as it was released, he was scrapped as a potential director.
That's pretty funny.
That must have been that
good,
bad.
though, too.
It needs to get on Netflix. I will add it to my list. I will rate it 5 stars. As soon as it comes to Netflix, I'm inviting a bunch of friends over. I'm going to invite you over and everybody. And we're going to watch it. And we're going to realize how great of a movie it is. And after, we'll watch The Phantom Menace again, because we're big into good movies. And then after that, I will try to find Batman and Robin. And then maybe the In-Betweeners. The Smurfs too.
Aren't they actually making a third one of those?
I hope they don't. My cousin made me go to the first one. It's probably my least favorite movie I've ever seen. It wasn't even laughably bad. It was just torture and terrible. Why would they even make a live-action Smurfs movie?
I don't know.
Love how we just get so off topic in these. It's just kind of the fun part about them.
Yeah.
But
from Star Wars to the Smurfs too.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, what if they got like a terrible director of like the Smurfs to do that?
Star Wars 9 or something.
Star Wars Blue.
What?
I don't even know. Or instead of...
What if they did the crossover between the Smurfs and Star Wars?
Okay, we'll get to crossovers in 1 second. Alright, that brings up a good point. What if when they were rolling the title sequence, instead of playing the Star Wars theme, it did this happy song from the Smurfs movie?
Oh my god.
Okay, so just before we get on to other anthology films related stuff, what are your thoughts on Marvel and Star Wars crossover?
That is the worst idea ever.
You'd be surprised how many people actually want this to happen.
That's terrible. Why would you cross over something like not good?
No, I haven't checked online. But we don't like Marvel very much, obviously.
Yeah, I don't mind them. They're okay. It's just their movies usually aren't that good in a way. Like, Spider-Man, he's like one of my favorite superheroes, but I think a crossover between Marvel and Star Wars would just be terrible. Like, oh my god, that's like nightmare terrible.
I wouldn't hate Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I dislike it, but I wouldn't hate it.
Like a crossover between those two?
Yeah.
Well, that's because that's all the planets and everything, I guess.
And then they're kind of cool characters. They can work with the Star Wars mythos.
Well, they are connected to the Avengers, though, and everything. So that wouldn't end up working just them.
You got some lag there. Oh well. This is through Skype, by the way, so just letting you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the picture
the first time, the audio was just that.
The picture up is a comparison of Snoke and Darth Vader. Without his helmet on. It actually kind of does look similar, though. They do have that... Oh. They do have that scar on top. That is something interesting to note.
Well, Snoke's goes over like, doesn't it go over like his entire face?
Yeah, it goes over quite a bit more of his face, so
Yeah.
there's a fair bit of difference. Like, I can see why people would say that, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But Stan Lee, okay, talked about. I was just looking it up. Sorry if the mouse clicks get annoying. I know in some of my previous videos, mouse clicks you can hear them and they're super annoying. But Stan Lee talks about possibilities of Star Wars Avengers crossover.
That'd be terrible.
No. Okay, I would not be a big fan of that. That's not really something I want to see happen. But, oh well.
That would like ruin both series.
Well, yeah, that's... I don't know, what's with everyone's obsession with crossovers and reboots and stuff?
I don't know.
I'm scared that they're gonna do this to Star Wars. They're not gonna make it special anymore.
Yeah.
Which is something that's kind of sad and people have discussed over the years.
Mhm.
Which, I don't know what to think of that. Do you think Disney is going to ruin Star Wars? Do you think they'll handle it the way we want them to?
Honestly, I want them to make 9. Like, if I got to choose, I would want them to make, like, 7, 8, 9, make Rogue One, and then just be done with movies for those. I don't want them to just keep putting in more of them.
Well, they're going to be making the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, which I hate that idea.
And that brings up our next point. The Han Solo movie.
Okay, well, Harrison Ford wasn't he like 34? I think it was when they were making A New Hope.
What movie's A New Hope?
Star Wars.
Thank you.
He was 34. I'm pretty sure. Harrison Ford. Princess Leia, she would have been like what, 18?
Yeah,
because she was born at the same time as Luke.
Yeah.
So they would have been like 18. Harrison Ford, I don't think he would have actually been 34 at the time.
Yeah.
If he were dating Leia, that means he would have been like 16 years older than her.
Yeah.
I would say he would have been in like his 20s or something like that.
Yeah.
On Star Wars. So if they're gonna make a movie about him, it can't I guess it doesn't have to be his origin. But
I think it's gonna be his origin though.
Yeah, it would seem pretty like weird if they made it just about him and he'd also be with Princess Leia and I guess Ben Solo. It sounds like it would be his origin, and that means he would literally have to be like a kid.
Yeah.
I guess it could show how he became a smuggler and everything, and got introduced to Jabba and stuff, but I don't know, I don't think this is the best idea to make this movie.
1 second, I found a Star Wars list of actors who could play Han Solo. 1 second. I'm a little nervous for this. Probably gonna be Chris Pratt or some crap like that. I can see him as Indiana Jones though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here are they want. Miles Teller. So he was in Whiplash. That was a good movie. Looks nothing like it at all though. Like nothing at all like him. He was also in the new Fantastic Four movie. So yeah, I don't know.
Automatically, just no.
He's also in 21 and Over. No. And he was in, what was it? Another bad movie. The Divergent movies. So I'm going to say no for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ansel Elgort. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never heard of this guy. 1 second. I'll probably recognize him. Let's see. Okay, looking at him, he looks like he could be, do a decent job.
Yeah, he looks. I guess. Yeah, I'm looking all this stuff up too. He does look like he could pull it off.
Not my first choice. Okay, Dave Franco. Let's see him. Dave Franco. Nope. Not Han Solo. One bit.
No, not a chance.
Jack Raynor? Yeah. Not the worst choice. Scott Eastwood, who's he? I don't know him. I don't know any of these people, to be honest. What are your thoughts on Scott Eastwood?
I don't know. He doesn't look like he'd be the first choice.
His dad is Clint Eastwood.
Ah.
Which is pretty cool. Logan Lerman from the Percy Jackson movies, no?
No.
And then Blake Jenner. I don't know who he is. Better not be related to. Okay, what are your thoughts on? Yeah.
No.
Okay, so not a single one of those impressed me at all. That's why I hate the idea of the Han Solo movie. At first, I was like, a Han Solo movie? My dreams have come true. But now, there's no good actors who can play Han Solo.
Yeah.
Unless they go for, like, kid Han Solo. Like, we're talking 10 years old.
They can get Jake Lloyd. I guess he's...
Yeah, what the heck, man? He's old now. Oh, imagine Jake Lloyd as Han Solo, though. Just like the...
God.
Still be better than most of these choices, though.
Yeah. Well, what does he exactly look like now, though? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 2016.
Looks a little off.
Wow. That is not a Han Solo.
Yeah, well, no. He's better than most of the choices, though.
I guess. I still see the Annie in him.
Oh, come on. But I've heard, potentially a Boba Fett movie, too.
Yeah, I heard about that. I guess, would that just be based on, In Between Attack of the Clones and Empire? Or would that be, like, him surviving the Sarlacc pit?
Surviving the Sarlacc pit would be interesting. That's probably my first.
Well, you see that fan-made trailer where it shows him, like, walking in the, desert, like, right away from the Sarlacc pit?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No, something, think of it. Captain Phasma apparently didn't die. So people wanted to be Boba Fett. But why don't we actually have Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Actually, in the last one, so it's not quite the same as Empire.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I feel like a lot of fans complain that it's too similar, yet if you look at what all the fans want, like I view myself as guilty of this, they just want rehashes of the movies. Everyone wants Luke to train Rey like Yoda did. Everyone wants a dramatic reveal like the Darth Vader thing. Everyone wants all this stuff. Everyone wants a Boba Fett-like character. You know, everyone wants the villains to win at the end of number 8. Fans complain so much that it's too similar, yet all they seem to want is stuff that's similar until they go to the theaters and realize, oh, that was too similar. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But, so I've been thinking actually myself about some directors that have to direct a Star Wars movie, and I would be okay with them bending the rule to let direct. So, one of them is George Miller. So, you saw Mad Max Fury Road. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it was really intense, and it was a cool movie, but it had, like, nothing with the story.
Yeah, like, okay, so, like, a lot of cinephiles will get mad. I have not seen it. He has. I don't know what to think, because the story, a lot of people say, is minimal. It sort of is kind of minimal. There's not really much to the story. It's more the effects.
Well, yeah, it showed, like, his family was murdered. I don't think they even talk about that. I think it just shows flashbacks of, like, his daughter, like, yelling at him or something. I remember, it was a long time ago that I saw this. It was quite new at the time.
But, did you see it in theaters?
I saw it, like, right after it came, I saw it, like, I rented it, like, right after you were just able to.
Maybe I should go pick it up on Blu-ray this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's still a great movie because the action is probably some of the best action ever. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And the practical effects. So just imagine George Miller directing a Star Wars movie with just non-stop awesome practical effects and action.
Yeah.
Like, really, that would be excellent. George Miller is somebody I'd really want. Like, if they're doing these spin-off movies,
yeah,
then have him direct one.
Yeah.
Simple fact, give it to a director like him who proved to be a fantastic director with the Mad Max movies. While they're not my favorite thing or your favorite thing, you have to appreciate that they are better than most action movies, even in story, really, because most action movies have terrible stories, and the effects are better. But do you know who would be an even better director?
Who?
Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
No, that's just like the thing. Like a lot of people, I read online that a lot of people want him to direct The Force Awakens. But I read on, I think it was Quora. It's that website that starts with a Q that always pops up whenever I type in a question on the internet. He apparently the guy said, and this made sense, that J.J. Abrams is more than just a filmmaker. He's a writer. He does a lot of promotional stuff. You know, they chose him because he'd do great with the promotional work. He'd do a good job with expanding the universe, while Christopher Nolan's just a filmmaker. So I think that's why people, they wanted him to direct it, but he never got to direct it. But if they made like a Star Wars spin-off movie that he could direct, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he's proven to be great at directing sci-fi. I haven't seen Interstellar yet, but everyone says it's awesome. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
It's on Netflix. I gotta see that sometime. And then Inception was a fantastic science fiction film. Not quite a spacey movie, but if they could have like that awesome action in a Star Wars movie, that would be great. But don't you agree with me that Christopher Nolan would do really good in these?
Yeah, well, like you said, I don't know if he'd be the best for a Star Wars movie. I think he'd be really good with a spin-off.
Star Wars is what inspired him, though.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Like, I think it would be great. But here's the thing I've heard about Christopher Nolan, okay? So, I've heard that he's not entirely sure if he wants to direct a movie in a big franchise.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that he's not entirely interested in directing that. But he showed interest in directing a James Bond movie, which, by the way, would be like, I've never seen any James Bond movie, so that would totally be a way to get me to go see a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
It's Christopher Nolan. But think about it, Nolan has such a big fan base that, you know, he could get some people, maybe even non-Star Wars fans in there. I highly doubt that anybody who watches his movies aren't Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Most people who like kind of action-y movies, are Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Alright, so the last thing I wanted to do here is, I wanted to, talk about, I still have the Christopher Nolan themed stuff up, but wanted you to give your predictions for episode 8. So just tell me entirely, what do you think will happen in episode 8?
Okay, well,
from start to finish, like, go from how it's all gonna play out.
How I'd like it to play out?
Yeah, just what you think could be.
Well, okay, I want to know more about some origins. Seems like they had a lot of cliffhangers, kinda, in Force Awakens. I want to know a few of those things. But I would like it to be, like, Empire in the way that, like, Rey's being trained by Luke.
Yeah, so you want it to start with the training?
Yeah, it seems like, I guess, you know how Luke, it doesn't seem like, even if Luke isn't the best teacher, Rey seems like she is pretty good with the Force, with what she's done. Like, she was able to manipulate that stormtrooper with, like, no training, basically. Like, it seems like she's pretty good with the Force in that way, so, like, I'm hoping that, like, he's training her. I guess Finn doesn't really have a lightsaber anymore. He can't be training with that. Finn could be training with, like, still more with blasters and stuff. He can be training with flying or something like that. I'm just wondering what they're going to do in the replacement for... Because there's no Starkiller base or anything. In Empire, it was basically just the bad guys they went up against. And I want to see a bit more of Snoke. But
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be in the way, also, like, Return of the Jedi, you know, where, like, we don't actually get to see him in person till, like, the final one.
Yeah.
But I want Kylo Ren to be a lot stronger, like, from all the training and everything, and I want there to be, like, another intense battle between, like, Rey and him, like there was with Luke and Vader. And, like, this super intense battle, but make it a lot, like, even better than on Force Awakens. Just make it a huge, awesome battle.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah, that's basically what I want.
So, yeah, so... And you want the villains to win at the end, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want it to be too similar.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, it's gonna begin with, like, a training bit, and it's gonna show what happens with Finn. I'm predicting, and we're gonna see. Okay, because when the movie comes out, we're gonna watch these predictions again, see how right we were. I'm thinking Captain Phasma will come back and will be stronger. I really think so. Captain Phasma will be like, yeah, Captain Phasma power. No, that won't happen. But I'm expecting some more of Captain Phasma. Hopefully better, because were you excited for Captain Phasma? Because I sure was.
I thought she was going to be really cool.
Yeah, that's turned out. No.
Yeah.
Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Your least favorite Star Wars character ever?
Probably one of them. You know, she's up there with Zabalba.
Sebulba? No, Sebulba is my least favorite Star Wars character ever. Full time. Worse than Jar Jar Binks, don't you agree?
Yeah.
It's more for, it's kind of more of a personal joke thing. Every time we see Sebulba. Sebulba's terrible. It's such a bad character. But, this is just kind of a random topic.
Okay.
Going down the list. Sebulba. I really hate Boss Nass, you know, when he goes brrr.
Yeah. Well,
So,
do an extension. Zabalba's not the best.
who?
Inside joke there, extension.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what was his name? The guy or whatever?
Yeah, Boss Nass.
Yeah. Him, he sucks.
He's terrible. I'm trying to think, what's the guy's name who's terrible? Oh yeah, why haven't I forgot? Young Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, Boba. He was drunk.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Jango Fett. He was... Nah.
He was overrated though.
Yeah.
He really wasn't like an iconic character like people say he is.
Yeah. Boba Fett in actual Empire and stuff was awesome.
Yeah. Boba Fett was, but he didn't really do much. Some people say he's one of the most overrated characters.
Yeah.
It's like Darth Maul, really. I like Darth Maul and Boba Fett, though.
Yeah.
Do you want Jabba to return? Like a different Jabba, not Jabba, but like...
Like Zero the Hutt?
Zero the Hutt sucks! Something like Jabba. I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Zero the Hutt.
Okay.
So anything else Star Wars related that you'd like to discuss? Anybody you want to see direct a Star Wars movie? Anybody?
I don't think so. I don't want it to be... J.J. Abrams I thought was awesome, but I don't want him to keep making them.
Yeah.
I don't want him to like fully repeat everything.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But I don't... Not much. I don't know much.
Yeah. Alright, so... Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. This is probably one of the better ones we've made.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed some of our predictions, thoughts, and jokes, I guess, about Star Wars.
Zabalba.
Typical sarcasm. Almost as sarcastic as the last one.
What was that? 3 or 4?
That was 4. The Batman vs. Superman Suicide Squad Civil War package deal. Send in your topics. We're hoping some more gaming topics. But we're kind of in the off season of gaming right now. No good games come out. So been a lot more movie reviews lately.
Yeah.
And so I feel like movie reviews are almost a little more fun to make.
Yeah.
Because, because they're easier to make, I guess. Game reviews, it's hard to give your thoughts. But yes, because I mean, part of the reason with game reviews is that I don't ever want to buy a game that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to buy a movie, but I go to a lot of movies every year that I despise, like ones that people ask me to go to that are terrible. Terrible movies. Like, you got stuck going to see Dirty Grandpa, for example.
Oh my god.
Is that one of your least favorite movies
Yes,
you've ever...
Don't even bring that up.
But did you laugh once during it?
I laughed at how bad it was. And I was almost crying by the end because it was that bad.
Oh, God. Typical terrible comedy. You know what else I didn't like? Daddy's Home.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably my least favorite.
Okay, so...
Well, anyways, we will see you next time. Goodbye.